Way back in 1967, the Fab Four told us all you need is love. Well, we're going to find out if that's true. We are blessed to have brother and sister Ratliff here today. And of course, we'll join you right after this. Brother Brayden, Sister Amity, glad to have you guys here today.
We're glad to be here.
Today is going to be about a topic, love. Why? Well, because as people are watching this, it's going to be Valentine's week.
Yeah.
Cool.
And, it's kind of a cool theme. But even if it's not Valentine's for some people, this is an important topic.
Absolutely.
And I bring you guys because not only have you shown just a lot of great things through your ministries, through the things you've done, but I mean, you're one of those core couples that we love so much here at Calvary, and just so thankful that you're here with us today. So it won't be too hard, I promise.
Yeah, come on.
We do love each other.
Okay, good. Okay, step one is taken care of, everyone.
Love each other.
We'll go to the next thing. So, no, of course, as we talk about love, we talk about, the journey to get there, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you always see in like a Hallmark movie or something like that, someone walks around the corner, they bump each other at the grocery store, and it's love instantly.
Yeah.
And it all is perfect, and it's all, which we all know is not true.
Right.
Right. So we've got to have a journey to get there. Not all that's just that. So I want to know from you guys, and you could decide who wants to say this first, but where did you guys meet and how did you start your journey?
Ooh.
So we met in a small town called Nacogdoches, where I'm from. She was going to college at the time.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
I was just out and about, and I lived there. And she was hanging with a group of friends one night that I grew up with going to church.
Yeah.
And I went up and approached them, said hey, talked to them for a little bit, asked them where they were going after this, and they were going out to eat.
Whataburger.
And I was like, can we go out to eat with you guys? It was me and my cousin. And they said no. And I was like, well, we showed up anyway. And we ended up staying there for
Till like 4 a.m.
yeah, just talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
One thing led to another, and then it was
He never left me alone.
on from
He
there.
texted and called every day. So and the rest is history.
That's awesome. So we know that, there will eventually be a milestone anniversary of Whataburger.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And what's funny is we like Whataburger, but
Yeah.
it's a part of the story.
It could be a sponsorship for here.
Yeah.
Hey, you never know.
Whataburger wants to sponsor us. Come on.
Right, I know. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a really cool story. My wife and I, people probably laugh at ours because I met her here at Calvary
Yeah.
way back in 2004 or 5.
Okay.
And everybody knew I was going to ask her out. And my sister-in-law spread the news very quickly, so everybody was watching. And we had these little napkins. Sister Morrow here at the church, amazing at getting things for the church.
Oh, yeah.
She finds donations, she finds things. And we always would have different things from different restaurants. We had a stack of Dairy Queen napkins.
Oh.
And so that's my famous story. My wife is, I didn't know what to say because I had about 15 eyes on me. 16. I think there's one-eyed guy somewhere.
Yeah.
16 eyes or something. And so I started talking about the napkins because I was embarrassed. Like I had an audience, just like we have
so
today.
funny.
Yeah.
So that rest is history. But anyway, enough about me. But no, it's kind of cool to find out everybody's journey.
Yeah.
Right, where everybody meets. And there is that foundation of, okay, we find out that we actually care about each other, that we like each other,
Yeah.
and then you make that next step to really get to know each other,
Yeah.
right? As
Yeah.
you date and as you find yourself when you finally get to your engagement. And what do you, okay, we'll start with you, Brayden. What would you say that really led you to really appreciate Amity?
So I would say it was shortly after we started talking. I took a job in Odessa, which was 8 or 9 hours away.
Yeah.
And we had only known each other for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And I took the job and left. And the entire time I was there, we stayed in conversation. She would call me every night. She would text me good morning, text me throughout the day. And that just kind of stuck to me. And then I don't know what it was. We had come up with a game plan for me to just leave the job and just come home. I needed a good excuse. And
Well,
so
I had gotten plugged into church there.
Yeah.
And that was something he was missing at that time. So
Yeah,
that
so
was a part
I
of it.
wasn't able to go
Yeah.
to church, attend church that much because I was just working so much. And she took to East Sides, where it's a home church for me.
Yeah.
And once she got plugged in there and started telling me how much she loved it, and then we started to stay in communication, and then kind of started to feel the love, I guess you would say, and was like, man, I got to go home and replug in and start dating her, and so that's kind of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a pull, right?
Yeah.
That's a big reason to want to come back.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And for you, what would make you think, okay, Jaden's the guy?
Brayden,
I said Jaden.
it's okay. Yeah.
You're okay.
Big mess ups. Anyway,
He's
go ahead.
always been very confident with the way he carries himself. And so he's always also been like a go-getter. And so I've always been attracted to I wanted somebody that was going to be able to be a protector, a provider, make me feel safe and comfortable. And he's always really been a good listener too. And so,
I agree with you.
And so, he really does put me on a pedestal. Like, I'm spoiled. People joke and say that I'm spoiled, but I just met somebody that I felt like met every single one of my needs. And it really was a growing stage. I would say in the season when we met to where we are now is completely different.
Yeah.
And so I was in love with him then, but even more now, just because, we've gone through so many seasons together. So, but yeah, I would say he always just made me feel safe, comfortable, confident. I could be who I was and am with him. So,
Wow.
yeah, I
That's
just felt
awesome.
comfortable. So,
It's very important. It really is. And so as you both came at this relationship, were you, I didn't ask this question earlier, but were both of you grounded in the church or were you not?
Yeah, so I was brought up in the church. I'm sixth generation apostolic, and so I grew up in it, and then met Amity and pulled her into
and
it.
actually, so I was raised Southern Baptist, and so I had a foundation with the Lord. But when I went off to college, I kind of fell away from that. Actually, I would say I wasn't attending a church at all during that time. I was kind of through a searching season. My parents say they were praying hard for me during that season. And then when I met Brayden, and we just got plugged in at Eastside, I fell in love with it from the first time I went, and then later on got baptized in 2020. So we met in 2019, September, and then I got baptized in October of 2020. So I've been going for about a year, and then decided to rededicate my life over to the Lord. And ever since,
it's real
just
important
growing,
for both of us to be rooted in the church.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We use that word a lot, rooted.
Yeah, right. And I think that's why I ask. And the reason I'm asking that too is because of the response, maybe some young people watching or, understanding and getting into a relationship or finding themselves, I want to be engaged to this person.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's a big step. And people, like I hate to say it this way, but people kind of look at it a little different now, I think. People think, if it doesn't work out, next.
Right.
Yeah.
And, marriage is not meant for that, right? And of course, so when you jump into being engaged, we've got to find that we are equally yoked.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we do believe in the same things.
Yes.
And we're trying to go on this journey together, not, here and there, right?
Yeah.
We need to be on that same path. And so you found yourselves on the same path and you were looking at that. So the biggest thing is if you can get through the engagement and get through the wedding planning process, you can actually love each other, I think, right?
Yeah.
Hey,
That
I
was a
coasted.
season.
I didn't have to do much.
It did take him 5 years before he proposed. So it took him a good bit. So I would say some of that though was seasons that we had to go through since he was in church, a little backslidden. I was just getting into church, and so there was things in our dating life that we had to overcome that I think got us to the point of our engagement and then obviously getting married. And then part of that also, we were engaged when we started to come to Calvary because we had moved back from Nacogdoches back to Dallas, wanted to get plugged into a church here. And then we were engaged, and then I don't know if you know this, but we actually had 2 weddings.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
So we got married on a Thursday night here with both of our families at church with Pastor and them in the sanctuary on our, was it our 6-year anniversary? Or 5?
Probably.
and a half. I don't know.
I don't wanna guess and get it wrong.
It was on our dating anniversary. We did that, and during that time, before that, we had already booked a wedding date for our big wedding that happened on May 31st.
We were trying to plug in here at the church and wanted to be, what is it? I don't want to say on the right path, but like...
No, we just wanted to be right with the Lord.
Yeah, exactly.
And move forward. And we just felt a word from the Lord of, it was just to become one. It was really important, and for the ministry and the plan he had for us. And so we prayed about it. We talked about it. We talked and prayed with with Pastor and Sister Rachel, and they affirmed everything that we had already been feeling. And our families went with it.
Yeah.
So,
that's important.
Yeah.
You know?
So
it's wild how people think about, in marriage, because I think some people say, well, I'm going to jump into this. It's going to be so easy.
Yeah.
Oh.
First, think about it, right?
Man.
It's simple. No problem.
Yeah.
People that have problems, they're just already, they're just hotheads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now that you got to that point, you were married, and how long have you been married now?
So,
We go off of both. This September have been together 7 years dating, and then May we'll be married 3 years. Yeah.
3 years. Okay.
So
you're still early in it.
Yeah.
Even though that is,
Yes.
you've seen so much.
yeah, absolutely.
Everybody does, and it really does take a good walk with God.
It does.
to navigate that, because it is so easy, and like our world tells us, like I spoke on it earlier, it doesn't work, just give up.
Yeah.
Right. And so as you've navigated and as you work through this, what has really been what has helped you guys through this? I know God and what he's blessed you with has already helped you, but tell me something, a really factor in your life when your walk with God that has helped you in this journey.
I would start off with saying the pillars in my life. I have a lot of men. I didn't grow up. My mom died when I was really young, and my dad's been, not in my life at all. And the Lord put men in my life who could be pillars in my life to take that spot and run with it. And so they showed me how to be a man, how to be strong, carry yourself, good work ethic, grace, mercy, all those things. I was actually telling somebody last week that being married is like you're going through the wilderness to find your promised land, and you got to be able to get through that, those struggles, whatever it may be, and those guys showed me how to go through that. That I would say the pillars of men in my life would be my answer for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Strong relationships.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But I think for both of us, because we've been together now for season time, I would say, everything wasn't perfect from the beginning, right? I mean, you have fights, you have faults.
Yeah.
Kind of have to learn how to navigate through life together.
Yeah.
And we have gone through a lot of trials. Like even when we were dating, in 2020, we lost his youngest sister. And so we walked through grief together with that. I had to navigate how the needs he needed, needs that I needed, and just learned how to communicate effectively, have respect for one another, and know what each other needed during certain times. I think that's been important in our relationship. And even losing our son this past year, I mean, I think that we've walked through things throughout the years that have helped prep us for that.
Yeah.
I was telling my youngest sister the other day, like, if our relationship with the Lord wasn't where it is and where it's needed to be now, and where our marriage wasn't where we have it now, I don't think we would have been able to get through that together. And so just knowing, I don't know, being able to effectively communicate, having that mutual respect for one another has been a big thing.
Being able to say,
and we do have great examples of what a healthy marriage is. I mean, my parents are a great example of that. His grandparents on both sides have been a great example of that. We have aunts, uncles, pastors, family in the church that really example that every single day.
Yeah.
And we've listened on the marriage retreats. We've gone now on 2, and I'm telling you, those, good youth pastors.
Good youth pastors.
Good friends.
Yeah, right.
A good community around you. Yeah. We've learned boundaries of what you should and can say to others, and then other things that you should probably just keep between yourself.
Yeah.
Because other people can not let go of things, whereas you can forgive your spouse. So, just navigating that. using wisdom.
Sounds like a theme here, though. Listening.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's a big thing I'm hearing here, and of course, taking advice. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And actually visualizing and seeing what other people are doing right has really blessed y'all.
Yes.
It really helped. And, and I think that is a true key. Because, we're talking, our theme is love. And as you go through this, you're talking about not just loving each other.
Right.
You have enough love and respect for your pastoral team.
Oh, yeah.
You have enough love for your family members that have helped guide you. Mm-hmm. You have enough love for even the worst things about each other.
Yeah.
Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
You have to. And so I think that's a really big key. And I hope people listening right now can really take that and run with it. Because let's just be honest. A lot of us want to hear our own voice because we think, well, I know what's good. I know what's right. But it's important when you're in a relationship, you're in a marriage, it's not just about you. You always have to bring yourself back to it's about us.
Yeah.
And so I really respect both of you for that. That's a really good key. And I think that's going to hopefully bless someone out there listening right now that's in a relationship. Even if they're just dating.
Yeah.
You have to listen, right?
Yeah. And ask questions. Because, if you're unequally yoked, and you don't have the same end goal. We've been talking with a friend who recently was dating somebody, and they didn't have the same end goal. Those were hard-hitting questions. We knew we wanted a family. We wanted to get married. We wanted to raise our family in church. Core values were the same. Our families were both important to us, and they love each other and get along great. And so that was another deciding factor. So I always encourage younger people that are searching for that someone. It's important to know that before you really invest your time and your energy and your love for that person. Yeah. So, because if the end goal is not the same, why are you doing it?
Have a good foundation.
And that is something our society has done. So,
Yeah.
So
I'll be replaying this podcast with my daughter several times.
Yes, Lily.
Yeah, so that's scary. Yeah. But anyway, talking about this and everything when it encompasses just the short journey that you've been on together. Mm-hmm. And you did touch on your son, and that's a hard topic. It's a very difficult topic, and a topic I really didn't want to touch, but I'm going to because I think it's very important to who each of you are.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's a deep valley.
Yeah.
That's hard on the heart.
Yeah.
It's hard on your spiritual walk. Let's be honest. And so as you've navigated through this, what do you think really has helped you? I know prayer and the things that, and the people that God has put in your life, but how have you held on to each other? Because we see so many times that's when people break apart.
Yeah.
I don't know. It sounds, I would say it's just who we are, really. Yeah. Going through what I've gone through in life. And losing my son was the worst. Yeah. But obviously, I know how to kind of handle grief, and this was something new. Yeah. But it really was the Lord, and there are so many factors that played into how we were able to. We run into people now and talk to them, and it comes up, and they're like, "Man, I would have never thought that," or "I never seen that." You don't carry yourself that way.
It's a part of our testimony.
Really early on, we were able to just lean on the Lord.
Even in the labor, like through the situation, we haven't really talked. We've talked to people about it, but I was in labor for 37 hours, and it was covered in nothing but prayer. Yeah. We had pillars in our life that he didn't sit down for those 37 hours. Like, it was a constant prayer, comfort from the Lord that only the Lord can give.
Well, I was praying for a miracle.
Yeah.
Because, we had went in that night. It was a Sunday night. Mm-hmm. And obviously they broke the news pretty quick that there wasn't a heartbeat. And so, right then I keep a ball of anointing oil on me. And I took it out and put it on her belly. And we, from that moment to hour 38, basically, I didn't sleep.
Yeah.
I just prayed the whole time, wanting God to give us a miracle. And then obviously the birth of him when he came out, it went from a praying to almost like a worship. It was
which sounds so crazy.
Yeah, in the moment I began to be thankful. You get to hold your son, you get to pray. I was praying, and it was a move of the Lord, really.
Yeah. We had tons of interpretation in the room.
In the midst of a trial or a storm, it was there was a peace that came in there, and I began to just be really thankful for the opportunity to get to hold my son and pray. And so I would say what helped us get through that is leaning on the Lord, our faith. That's something, even in the beginning of our marriage, whether we were living totally right like we were or not, it was almost a non-negotiable. It was like, we will always be centered with the Lord. Now, we may not have the perfect walk or be doing everything like we should, but we'll never turn away from Him, no matter how bad it gets. And we just kind of had to prove that for each other.
Well, and just show that we say it all the time, but now it's time to
got to be about it.
Apply it, basically. And I mean, there was no other, like you said, there was no other option other than to trust the Lord. And even through it, I will be raw, we questioned God. We asked why. I mean, I remember laying there in the hospital bed and being like, God, what did I do to deserve that? And I just felt like He spoke, it's not what you did, it's what you're going to do through it. And so I know that that's a part of our testimony. And then even in the tongues of interpretation, it was really for Him, but it was the Lord basically saying He did this through it because it brought us to really give Him our all, in a new way that if we wouldn't have gone through this, we don't know if we would have gotten to that deeper place with the Lord in our relationship too. So,
so I think it all just goes back to our walk with the Lord.
Just pressing through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And going deeper together in our relationship, and really just leaning on Him.
And having those three, I mean, if we didn't have respect for one another, if we didn't have open communication in our relationship, if we didn't know each other's needs.
Having grace, gotta have grace.
Yeah, and mercy. There's days that I know he's not going to have a good day, and I know that, and I have to know how can I help him in those. And the same for me. I mean, there's days where I just break, and I'm having a hard day, and he knows how to come in and just comfort that.
Yeah, that's
and walk
a good
through
one.
it.
That's a good point.
So,
it's made me be
more tender.
Yeah, because I was always kind of a rough guy. It's made me have to go in there and be a gentle person and have compassion and understanding. And so that's a good point for that question.
It's broke us in new ways that we needed. We needed. So, yeah.
That's interesting, for the fact of, we just don't really know sometimes the direction God has for us. Yeah. But when it does happen, when those things do happen in our walk with God, we have to be, prepared to be strong and all those kind of things. But at that moment, it's not.
Yeah.
We realize that the preparation we made is important, but is it helping us? Those questions pop up, those things come up, but I think in the end, really, if we really do hold on to Him, we can hold on to each other.
Yeah.
Right.
And I find that, and hearing your story really shows that, and it's a proving point. And what you're speaking today, I really feel like it's going to touch someone else.
I hope.
And someone who may not go through exactly your situation, but going through something similar or just a huge trial.
Yeah.
I think it needs to be known that, relationships in a marriage and you taking it serious and you actually taking the vows that you made to God and putting them into effect.
Absolutely.
That matters.
Yeah.
It does.
And today our world teaches us, don't do that.
Yeah.
It teaches the exact opposite.
Yes.
That everybody is an individual, which it sure to an effect it is, but not when you're in a marriage. When you're in a marriage, you basically you're the same person.
Yeah.
And I think it's for us to understand that and to actually practice that. And I find it to be very important. So I respect and I appreciate you sharing your heart.
Of course,
because that does matter. And as we talk about this, and as we talk about love, I mean, as you have been a couple, just, in a short time in your marriage, I'm sure you've actually been with around other couples married as long as you have, maybe longer, shorter.
Yeah.
And I know you have probably blessed other people. Tell me, what have you learned in your engagement with other couples, and what have you taken from that you want to put into your own life, or do you want to share? What kind of give me some of those thoughts?
I would say a prime example would be, or a good example or analogy would be Adrian. Howard.
Yeah.
And the way that he treats Crystal. We were having breakfast meetings from time to time about a year ago on how to grow a business and how men need to lead their homes. And he said in the beginning of one of the first meetings, it may have been a Bible study, but it was all in there. But he said that to love your wife like Christ loves the church. And that has really stuck with me from that moment. And I've always heard that, but to see that in the way that he treats his wife Crystal, has something that I've wanted to take and show that same love, and affection. So that'd be mine.
That's interesting. What about you for yourself?
I would say, I mean, when you're around a lot of other couples, there are things that are good and there's things that are bad. And I don't know, just being able to read one another. I don't know, being able to learn how to trust your partner in a new way, and effective ways to communicate and not communicate. I mean, there's situations that have arose that
You can take something from good couples and bad couples.
I mean,
and
really,
apply them.
really, maybe if I was doing that, I wouldn't have recognized without seeing it through someone else. The do's and don'ts.
The do's and don'ts is good.
I would say the biggest shift for me in our relationship was the marriage retreat 2 years ago. We went to Oklahoma, and the couple that spoke there talked about love languages. And for me, that was something that there was a book that they recommended reading, and I read it, and
do you remember their name?
Learning, I don't.
Oh, we seen him last week.
Anyways, just learning.
If we get it. We'll
Yes,
flash on the screen.
yes. But just learning
Plug him in.
how in the Bible, Lord created man and woman to complement one another, and so I took that as, well, am I exempling that for him? Am I being the wife that he needs of me? Because a woman's natural place is to nurture, to make a home, to love, and a man's role is to protect, provide, and basically do that. So, and we've really tried to lean in on that, but also knowing his love language is physical touch and words of affirmation. I know that. I know if he's having a bad day, that's what he needs to boost him up, then I'm going to do that, and vice versa. So,
that's great. Yeah. And, it's one of those things where as you do go on this journey together and you show each other love and you find out those moments that, wow, this person really does love me, that means so much, because there's times, let's just be honest, in a marriage, you go to those little arguments and fights. I don't really know if they really love me that much because they didn't agree with me, or they're doing it completely the opposite what I asked not to. It's just those moments, but we do find those moments also where we can show each other how much we really do care, even at the most vulnerable spots. And so, it's a big thing. And I think I was also talking about the couples thing because I think it's really important for people to find other couples to share time with.
Absolutely.
Not just to learn the good and bad, but just to fellowship. Just to kind of relate, because you can relate to anyone, but when you've got a strong couple that you're engaging with, you realize, it's just that kinship. It's something to share.
Yeah, and it's important.
Yeah, and the fellowship that God has given us, sometimes we don't take advantage of it. Sometimes we just kind of do our own thing.
Yeah, no, I'm really big on plugging in with other couples that we are in the same
core values.
Stage of life with, that we can all relate to one another.
And we prayed about that.
Yeah, even touching on stuff in the past, there was times, whether good or bad, where you needed to lean on those couples. And it has proven itself that it's important to have a community that relates to you, that you can grow with and share life with. And
talking about that, in the situation with our son, some of those couples were there in the room praying with us. When they walked in, they asked him, obviously because I was in labor, they asked him, what do y'all need? What is the expectation for us? And he just said, do what only you know to do, which was to sought after the Lord
and pray
and
there was I always say it's got to be the tip of the spear for one another.
Yeah.
And in that moment, I called on them
Mm-hmm.
and they delivered. And
Yeah.
so that's a good example.
But that was something, asking about the fellowship, we prayed for like-minded couples that were around in the same stage of life that we were. And coming to Calvary, it really was an answered prayer because we came here, Cameron and Cortland were here, Caleb and Melissa were here, Matt and Kaylee, now Ian and Monica. Like, it's just been so nice to have rooted couples that we know we can turn and lean on. Same with Adrian and Crystal. I mean, all of y'all.
Yeah.
You and Amanda. Like, it's just, it is important to have those couples that are, we know that we could turn to in times of need. So, and we hope to be able to return the favor in any aspect. So,
definitely. And you guys, I know you do. And this has just been a blessing to sit down with you both and to share this journey that you've guys have been. Even though it's been a short journey, you got a lot more to go. And of course, just on again next time. We'll look at this again, and let's just say. Your next big milestone anniversary, we'll come back and talk about the other thing.
Hey,
right?
Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
This has been a lot of fun, though.
I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Love is so important.
It is.
Love is so hard to get sometimes because of the fact that we're not willing to share love to other people. But when we do, we find each other, and we find each other in that right place, a positive place, in the place where God wants us.
Absolutely.
And so God has given us love for a reason. You guys are proving it right now. And I think everybody out there, if you need somebody, pray about it.
Yeah.
Pray for God to bring you that right person. If you already have a person in your life and you're not treating them well, or they're not treating you well, well, pray about it. I think you guys would attest to that, right?
Yeah,
oh, yeah.
absolutely.
It's
definitely.
that prayer life. We've got to walk with God on our journey together.
Yeah, he has to be the core.
Exactly.
For sure.
And he's the strong point. So everybody out there, we asked that question at the beginning of the podcast. Is all you need is love? Well, yes, but you also need God.
Right.
And you need to trust each other.
Absolutely.
Be with each other. Instead of saying we're together, be together. Right?
Yeah.
There you go. So, all right, guys. Well, thank you all for joining us today. We appreciate you. We love you. And, of course, until next time, make sure you are loving somebody because you just never know who might need a new beginning.
Come on.